Kevin Sidebottom here, speaker, author, and trainer. And I go around and I teach sales organizations and leadership teams how to grow trust and influence with their customers to generate more revenue and higher profits. That's what we all want in business, right? Make more money. Today, let's focus on the sales manager. That's right. How do you go from being an okay sales manager to a good to a great sales manager? That's what we all want to be, right? When we're in the management position. But let's take a quick step back. And I hate the word manager. And here's why. When you're a manager, you're managing people and processes. You're just trying to keep everybody afloat and moving along, right? Well, how do you get more growth out of people when you're just trying to manage them so that way they keep afloat and don't miss on something? That's not what we need to be. We actually need to be a sales leader. That's right. Just like a team leader or a leader in a business organization, we need to be a sales leader. We need to be championing the cause. And we're going to talk about that in this video on how to do that. What things we need to do for our teams, how do we show up, and what does that do for us? Now, being a sales leader, we need to be focused on growth. How do we add value and show up every day to add growth for our teams? Yeah, that's right. Whether we're a sales manager or we're a leader in that organization or we're in some other department, we always need to be focused on adding value and showing up. It's like servant leadership. We're serving our teams by helping add value. So how can we grow our teams and do that? Well, let's get into that. We want to be focused at investing in our teams. That's right. We need to bring value every time. What does that look like? Well, we should at least be doing one off-site sales training a year. It's been proven to show every time a sales group goes through a training together, they actually improve their sales. So it's just basically like taking and adding another tool into the toolbox to get your sales repertoire so you can actually do more. That's what we're doing, is we're building on our current skills. Well, we need to get off-site together and go grow together in some kind of training. Now, I'm not saying if you're in sales, you need to go learn how to cook. We need to actually invest in the right things. So we go into a sales training and we work together, because here's the reason why we want to do that. When you bring everybody together, you're actually forming more bonds. So people are talking and they're going to have discussions and they're going to learn together throughout this training. And yeah, you're probably going to bring in a sales trainer to give you this different outlook. Now, when I first got into sales, the owner of our organization was probably the best salesperson I've ever met. But here's the deal. Not everybody believed everything he said. So he would actually bring in sales trainers to come in and train the team. And a lot of times it was the same stuff he had already told us. But because it came from somebody else, guess what? People listened. When they had a well-known trainer come in, people go, maybe that guy's got something that's going to add value, and they pick up on these things. And when people hear the same kind of message over and over again, it starts to sink in, right? Just like our customers. They don't listen on the first time and automatically know everything we have to offer. It takes time and repetition. Just like us. It takes time and repetition. So we need to be sitting in that training together and learning together, at least once a year. And then we want to also pull everybody back the day after that training or that afternoon after that training to work on some other skills together. And here's why. When we bring these people in and they're starting to build these bonds, discuss and do a debrief after that training, people are going to pick up on things that they didn't pick up during the training. There's going to be collaboration, and people are actually going to go, wow. It's kind of like iron sharpens iron. When you actually sharpen a knife, you use something with harder metal, right? Well, when you have other people there, they're going to sharpen up the team too, because they're going to bring in some added commentary, some information that they gained or a different perspective, and everybody's going to get better. You're going to raise the bar that way. Now, here's another thing we need to do. After that debrief is done, after the training, and the trainer's gone, we need to make sure that we're implementing a couple things from that training. It's not just, hey, that was a great training and now we're off. What can we add to our sales process to grow? What can we add? What little tool can we add into that process that's going to make it better? So we need to debrief and go over that. Now, a third thing we need to be doing is actually bringing people in to do cross-training. That's right. We need to bring our teams together, and after that training is a great time to do it, and we used to do this all the time, is we would train on the competition. So one salesperson would train on one specific competitor, and they would actually talk about what that competitor is bringing out, what's on that piece of equipment, how they're selling against us, what they're selling against us, why they're selling against us, and how we can mitigate all those things and we can sell against them, and how we can actually strategize, and how our price points and all this other stuff. We need to do cross-training and teach, because the best way to learn something is to teach. That's right. So we need to have those teams focused in and doing this. And when we did this, our sales started skyrocketing because people were like, wow, I didn't know that they were doing this or that for the competition. So it was a good collaboration as well, bringing everybody together, adding value, not just joking around, but focused in and good discipline, and you're going to have a great outcome. The other thing I recommend is at least doing some books. You need to be reading at least one book a quarter. Now, I've been doing 12 books a year by simple process of reading 10 pages a day. Most business books are less than 300 pages, and there's 30 days in a month. So 10 times 30, 300. You can pretty much get a book a month. But for sales teams, they're always busy, and then if it's brand new, you're typically not going to do that much. So maybe one a quarter. But in every weekly sales meeting that we have, we need to be discussing for 5 to 10 minutes what we're reading. Because again, iron sharpens iron, we're going to get better. And we need to constantly be adding that value. And as the leader, we need to be doing that as well. So we need to be investing into our teams on how they can be successful. If we do so, we're going to have a great team. And as they start going and getting promoted into different parts of the organization, people will actually take notice of where they came from and what happened and who was leading them. So don't worry about instantaneous success. It will come for you. Now, we need to be focused in on this. We need to invest into our teams. What can we do? How can we coach them up? How can we add value to them? Because it's like compound interest in our retirement funds. More you add in, the interest starts growing and it compounds over time and everything gets better. And that way we have a smoother ramp up and we look like a great sales manager or a sales leader, right? Now let's remember, people don't quit the organization, they quit their boss. So if we're just managing people, we're going to manage them until they're deciding, you know what, I'm not getting anything. And every environment that I was in when I stopped learning, it was time for me to transition to something else. So focus in on that. We need to add value every single day. Let's step up our game and become a sales leader, not a manager. All right? Now, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. My contact information is below. If you like this video and it was helpful, hit like, share, send it to somebody it might benefit. That's why I do these videos, is to help you. All right? We'll see you next time.